What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai, so I'm in here bringing another video. Today I wanted to do another video regarding the Powerpuff Girls reboot for 2016. Third episode. The episode is entitled Escape from Monster Island. Pretty cool episode again. I'm liking the show. I'm liking it a lot. Sure, different voice actors, but still a good show. This one brings back a character which I think might have actually had the same voice that he had back in the original show, which is pretty cool. And also it's because he's kind of a character that I'm not really sure how you can really create a new voice that wouldn't have to be the same. And I'll tell you this much right now, I'm pretty sure it is the same. Now this time it's not a villain, it's actually a good guy, which is cool because we've had so far one original villain and one new villain, and then we've had this original good guy. Now he's not a hero, but it's still kind of cool. So let's start this up here. So the episode starts off with the Powerpuff Girls in their rooms jamming out to some Sensitive Thugs. And you may think to yourself, what the heck does that even mean? Sensitive Thugs is the name of the boy band that the Powerpuff Girls start getting all into and start loving, because they just love the music and they love each of the boys in the boy band. Although the one thing that's kind of odd is that Blossom loves the manager because of his organization and all that. And she's very logical and methodical and all that, and kind of like the realistic one rather than the innocent or the tough one. She's kind of that middle ground. So it's interesting. Although the one thing that always that confuses me about this is the fact that they say that he's the manager, yet he's in the band. So it's sort of like, is he the manager or is he in the band? Is he both? I mean, I guess he's both, but it's just kind of odd, just to me at least. I don't know. Anyway, that all happens, and what happens is that then, while the girls are jamming out and stuff, they have a radio call, and there's a sold-out concert for the Sensitive Thugs that's going to be going on, and they have tickets on the radio. Which what happens is that each of the girls want to call in to possibly get the tickets or whatever, and it's a question, and the question is regarding I think it's it's one of the people in the band. His name is Chance, I believe it was. I forget if that's right. I believe it was Chance. And the idea is that the question was, what would be like his animal of choice on some sort of island or location or whatever. And Bubbles and Buttercup and Blossom have no idea, but Bubbles for some reason knows, and it gets it right on the dot, and she wins the tickets. The thing is that unfortunately she gets one ticket, and she gets a ticket for herself, and she can get a ticket, and as well as she can bring one friend with her. One, meaning she can only bring one person, one sister, whatever. And the thing is that they all get hyper and excited, and they're all happy and all that, but then they realize, wait, only one. Not good. So, unfortunate, of course. So the thing is that, Buttercup and Blossom want to go, obviously. But the thing is that there's only one ticket, and so Bubbles isn't sure. So then they get a call from a character, as I mentioned before, that I think may have had the exact same voice as he had back in the original show, which is awesome. And that is the mayor. We finally get to see the mayor, and we finally get to hear his voice, which I think is probably the same voice actor who played him in the original show, which is great. And he looks very similar, but he definitely has a little bit of an updated look, but for the most part, it's generally the same as he was back in the original show, which is perfectly fine. So the thing is that the mayor has a stress call involving, he ends up landing on this island known as Monster Island. So the Powerpuff Girls have to go and rescue the mayor from Monster Island, where the monsters are a little bit pretty vicious. So there's some monsters that are there. End up meeting this cute little monster that's fairly friendly and kind of acts like a dog almost, and Bubbles ends up naming him Frederick. So, that's kind of a nice thing. And eventually they end up goofing around or whatever, and Buttercup and Blossom end up fighting or whatever, and Bubbles is not very happy with how her sisters are acting. So what happens is that she basically says make up and say I love you and hug and all that, and then say I'm a buttzilla. And so the thing is that they do all the hugging and they do all the I love you, but then the only one that says I'm a buttzilla is Buttercup, and when she says it, then Bubbles starts laughing because she said it, and Blossom doesn't do it at all, and so then Buttercup is annoyed at Blossom for not doing the same thing that she did, and eventually the ground from below them cracks, breaks open, and all three girls fall in as well as Frederick. So they all fall down and they end up meeting this fiery monster that's there, and they end up dealing with the fiery monster. And the thing is that prior to that, there is this moment where they end up saying the same thing at the same time, Buttercup and Blossom. And the thing is that in the show they're like Jinx, and the idea of Jinx. And this has been a thing in the past. Not everyone uses the Jinx that is known here, and it's an older and it's something that I'm not sure if people always think about. But Jinx usually is meant to imply like, oh, unless someone says your full name, you have to not speak. So the idea is that they say Jinx, and it's revenge for Blossom not saying Buttzilla. So the thing is that Blossom has to not speak until her name is said correctly. So, like, Buttercup ends up referring to her as Bloss, or Bloss sister or whatever. And the thing is that eventually that's all happening, and she even wants to like use her ice breath on the fiery monster, but the thing is that she can't because that's kind of like talking or whatever. So then what happens is that Buttercup ends up going out of her way and like breaks open a rock. The rock falls down on the fiery monster, and the thing is that then a volcanic eruption is going to happen due to that monster being crushed over a rock. And the thing is that they end up fighting and everything, and at one point Bubbles is annoyed and all that and wants to say, you know what, I think I'm gonna go with Buttercup because you won't act nice enough, because she's just she's like mumbling her words or whatever. But Blossom knows that like there's an eruption that's about to happen, and the thing is that Bubbles ends up mentioning her name when she refers to her, and the thing is at that point the Jinx is broken, and she ends up saying that's not true. It's an unfair statement, and Buttercup should not be able to go and all that. And then eventually they end up being shot up and they end up talking to each other, and then Bubbles is not happy, and Bubbles says like the only one that's acting right and isn't fighting is Frederick. And thing is that Frederick that moment ends up being captured by some sort of vulturous kind of dinosaur like pterodactyl like monster almost. And so the three Powerpuff Girls end up fighting the vulture like pterodactyl monster, and eventually they end up rescuing Frederick. And then when they're about to be attacked by some other monsters, we end up seeing the mayor, who has become like a caveman, and apparently he ends up saving them by shooting an arrow that has a pickle on it. Now, for those who don't know the mayor from the original show, he had this big thing in regard to pickles. Yes, he loved pickles. It was just his thing. You know, pickles were like it for him. And the thing is that in this case, they end up mentioning it in an interesting way where they say pickles are the thing that allows him to tame these beasts and make them harmless to him. And the thing is that with the pickle arrow that they shoot at, which basically calms them down and prevents them from fighting the girls, that's his last pickle. So then the monsters come back and they're not happy. So then at that point the Powerpuff Girls end up like flying away, and then Bubbles is like, you know what, I think I know who I'm gonna choose to go with me to the concert. And the two girls are like, is it me? Is it me? And even the mayor's like, is it me? And I'm like, maybe it is. I don't know. And the thing is that for those that may have guessed it, yes, it was Frederick. So the two of them go to the concert. The other two girls are unhappy, of course. But overall, a nice, simple episode, straightforward, fun episode, and really enjoyable. Overall, these 3 episodes are very good, simple, straightforward, and well done. And obviously, we've had 2 episodes focused on Buttercup, 1 episode focused on Bubbles. So hopefully, in the next episode or so, we should probably get an episode focused around Blossom. That would be pretty good, of course. It would also be good to see more characters show up, old and new. You know, Mojo Jojo would be good. Him would be good. You know, any of those kind of characters that are old and also some new characters would be great to see. I know that we're going to get them soon enough, and I'm looking forward to it. For those that are curious, though, one thing I wanted to mention, and you may have seen in the past one as well, I'm not sure yet, is that some images sometimes have this thing that says property of Cartoon Network, only due to the fact that on certain sites and stuff like that, they're trying to really like prevent people from just stealing it. So it's kind of an unfortunate thing, and also because of the fact that like legal rights and copyright issues, and they don't want to get sued and all that, which I totally understand, but it is something to note if you're curious about why it might say on certain images, if you see that the property of Cartoon Network. That's why. It's for legal issues, and it's just to make sure that none of that stuff is stolen, and it's completely understood, but it is something to note. Will I continue to do more reviews? Probably. You know, I might consider doing more reviews of this show, as odd as this might sound to some people. But you know what? It's kind of a fun show. They're very short in length, but they're good as a whole. And I really did like them. And, you know, if I could go through the whole season, I wouldn't complain, to be honest with you. Not to mention the other thing is that right now, obviously, the Power Rangers Dino Supercharge is in hiatus mode right now. So until around August of this year, we're not going to see any more of that. So that might be a good way for me to have something going on right now to keep you guys interested and engaged. And also, it's very new. And I think if you're a Powerpuff Girls fan, then this is something definitely to look forward to and watch and enjoy. So please leave your comments below telling me what you guys think of this episode. Was this good? Was this okay? What did you guys think? Have you watched these episodes so far? And what's your favorite one of these 3? And why? And also, what was your favorite Powerpuff Girls villain in the past? You know, I mean, that's always cool too. And let me know that below. Also, whose voice actor do you like the most in this new show, and why? Obviously, Tara Strong is not in this, so Bubbles is not the same voice actor, and not as cute as she used to be with Tara Strong, but still very cool. And the other voice actors are okay, but definitely different. So please leave your comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, guys, I'm Crazy Samurai 71, and goodbye, guys.